Hello and welcome back to the Bad Movie Reviews channel, hosted by none other than your two favourite Aussie Air Jordan fans. They're getting worse and worse by the week, but nonetheless, if you haven't figured it out, well, first of all, this is Ben, this is Daniel. We're reviewing the latest, I guess, sports biopic. They come out every year, but this one is directed by none other than Ben Affleck, which is also starring, called Air, which isn't about the birth of Nike. It's more about how they specifically signed Michael Jordan, arguably the greatest of all time in basketball. We won't get into that debate. We'll talk about the film. We'll get into the debate in the film because we could go on forever about that.
It's about the creation of the shoe in general, isn't it? The Air Jordan, Air Jordan brand.
The Air Jordan brand, and obviously about them landing Michael Jordan. Because at the time, they were the third. Converse was number one, Adidas second, and they were the third in the basketball area.
Yeah.
In which, obviously, now recording this in 2023, they're arguably one of the biggest brands in the world, but they pretty much own the basketball division. So, obviously, things have drastically changed, but we don't know where, obviously, this film headed. In terms of obviously its story, who knew? That's the good thing about going into it is you had no idea what happened.
No.
I'm kidding. Obviously,
Didn't
everyone
have a clue.
knew. Yeah,
Didn't even know they were going to be successful at all.
No. No. Well, what did you overall think of the film?
Oh man, what were my thoughts on this film?
I mean, that's what I asked you.
Thanks. Yeah. It was extraordinary. It was not what I was expecting. I knew I was watching a film this week. John Wick was coming out. That was top of my list of probably one of the movies I'm excited for the year. I'd nearly add this to it after that film.
In your top two of the year?
No, I was like added to my list of like, if I could now be excited for this film after I'd already watched it.
Oh, right.
I am.
Yeah.
Like the acting was next level for myself. I thought everyone was above and beyond. I wasn't sure there was enough story like coming into this film to actually make quite the kind of film that it was.
Yeah. I mean, the story of obviously how
I didn't think the origin was interesting.
The story of how Nike was created was super interesting. I've read the book Shoe Dog, which is obviously about Phil Knight, and everyone kind of knew about that. Which I guess is obviously why they've done this. But speaking of, obviously everyone knows Michael Jordan. Everyone knows Air Jordan now, but how it was created. I mean, there's actually a lot of films like this coming out. There's the Tetris film, Blackberry film coming out. Well, Tetris is actually like a Russian game, and it's like an espionage kind of way of how they actually got it to America. It's actually quite an interesting story.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
cool.
Yeah, it is. I do tend to agree with you though. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I didn't actually think there was enough of a kind of a substance to it to initially make this film, but man, it was full of everything. I couldn't actually believe how great the acting was. It was at times during, I should just not compliment the acting because there was also a phenomenal script.
The script, yeah.
Like, it was unbelievable. Some of the lines in this film genuinely sparked emotion and like got choked up within it. It was that great. I fucking loved this film. This was awesome. The score was perfectly complementing the film. It wasn't overwhelming.
Yeah, the soundtrack was very much complimentary of its time. And
everything was period accurate, which I always like when they do these kind of films, that everything's spot on to all that. It was great. The whole movie is really based around the creation of the shoe and like all the main members involved in it. And this whole film is kind of like a massive story. It's not inherently something that's like overly action-packed or something like that. It's not the kind of film it's going to be. Props to everything. This kind of sports film, big call here. This is probably my favorite one ever. The ones that I put up there are Rush, and I really like Ford versus Ferrari, and for me, this beats it. This like invoked emotion
there's a lot of sports movies like, you've obviously got your Rockies, your Creeds. There's a lot of films that deal with the actual sports themselves, but this film's very, very different. It's obviously a subject matter of sports, similar to, like, I would argue Rush is obviously a very much sports-centric film, but this film's obviously, it's almost written like a film separate to the fact that it's obviously dealing with a sport in a way that it caters to obviously everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
know what you're
could
saying.
not believe actually how much I love this film.
I can.
This was like, I got my shoes up there. Already like the brand. I love them more watching this film. This was great. This is worth a watch every single penny. This would be one of my highest recommendations I'll put through this year. I fucking love this. How did you find the film? Because I fucking loved this.
I really did love this film. I can't lie. And not that I would to the audience, obviously. But no, like genuinely speaking, I actually wholeheartedly agree with you. I thought this film was genuinely fantastic. It's written by, I have got him up here, Alex Convery, who wrote the film. I've just looked him up just to see, obviously, what else he's actually written. This was his first piece of... this is his first film.
Man's got a future.
And it has got a genuinely phenomenal script. Like, like previously, it's all shorts that he's written for, but this is genuinely a great script. Once you get past that, it obviously comes down to directing. Now, I obviously stated that Ben Affleck did direct it. He also stars in it as the CEO of Nike, Phil Knight, but... it is extremely well directed. He manages to bring out the best in every single actor here, but also like in terms of the way it's actually filmed and put together, it is so well paced. It doesn't feel long. It is just like so well edited, and it's just pumping, and it obviously comes along with the script. But yeah, the directing here is fantastic. But what he does so well is he allows every single actor to shine. This is probably one of Matt Damon's best performances in quite some time. I thought he was fantastic in here. I agree
wholeheartedly.
But not only that, he allows everyone else to shine. Matt Damon is obviously the star of the film, playing Sonny Vaccaro, who obviously signed Michael Jordan to Nike. But you've got Jason Bateman in here. He's allowed moments to shine. You've also got Viola Davis, who we obviously love. She's one of the best working actresses today.
Agreed.
In The Woman King, things like that. She is also very emotional. You've got Chris Tucker even in here. You've got Matthew Mayer, who plays Peter Moore, who's obviously the designer of the shoe. And even Ben Affleck himself, he steals a few scenes in there. He allows everyone to shine.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, there's not much else I can really say about it. It's just so well put together. It's such an interesting actual story of how they've obviously risen to who they are today as Air Jordan. And I don't know if I've actually reviewed any sort of true stories, but fuck, I love it when they show like a montage at the end and give you the writing of where they are now and what's happened. And it actually made me really emotional. Like I was not expecting it. I was smiling ear to ear, like the whole film watching this towards the end. There's a certain speech towards the end as well, which is so well performed and just gave me genuine goosebumps. And it is interesting because I actually agree with you. Like when you look at the film Air, and it's about obviously one of the most lucrative sports deal of all time and the signing of Michael Jordan, you really sit there and wonder, is there much to tell there? Really not. Like there isn't much, to be fully fair. Yeah. But the way they've actually written and directed the film and obviously brought out the performances in each actor, it's the perfect dad movie. That's the best way I can put it. I consider like Ford and Ferrari a fantastic dad movie. This is the film that anyone could go to say to their dad, go see this, you will enjoy it. Yep. It's got an all-star cast. It's got great directing, which obviously Ben Affleck's won Oscars before for his directing. He's directed some great movies along with Argo, Gone Baby Girl. You can tell he had a lot of fun on this, and I'm happy for him because obviously you've seen the stories come out lately where he was almost suicidal after the whole DC Universe, Justice League, thing like that. So, and he's reported to have a great time with this, obviously working with his childhood friend, Matt Damon, that they've known each other since they were like 8-10 years old. But no, I genuinely loved this film, and I think it is 100% a film you could go to anyone, whether it be your 6-month-old baby, your dog, your plush toy on the shelf, or your Air Jordan shoe behind us, and say, go see this film. They will have a good time.
Yeah, 100% spot on with that. I did not think a movie about a shoe and a big signing of a deal would actually make me that emotionally involved in a film ever. Hands down.
And it's funny because we obviously, as I've said plenty of times during this review, we obviously really, like, apart from obviously the nitty gritty, we know obviously how it ends.
Yeah.
We know that Michael Jordan's making $400 million a year in passive income, but you sit there rooting for these, like you sit there rooting the whole time for this film, and that obviously comes down to the performances, the directing, the writing. Definitely. Like it's the best way I can put it is these films aren't hard to make. but they're hard to make extremely well. These certain biopics, you know, even if it's average, you're probably going to have a good time smiling, but they're hard to make extremely well. This is a film I would buy on 4K, watch again, and watch over and over. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, first class recommendation to any sports enthusiast. Even if you have no interest in sport at all,
even if you
this is still a film worth watching, hands down.
Yeah, no, I genuinely, absolutely loved the film.
Yeah,
there's not much more I can say. It's probably going to be the second one of two films we love this week, because by all reviews, John Wick 4, which we are seeing tomorrow, has been getting outstanding reviews. So come back later for our review of that. But no, definitely go see it. I think in Australia it comes out April 5th, which is the same day as Mario. So Mario is probably going to make billions of dollars, but it's two different audiences. I would love, these films still need to exist. We're not living in a time where it's, superhero. We've seen that with Shazam, that it only made 30 mil in the opening weekend.
Yeah, I did see
and
that.
And it's bombed, and I doubt there'll be another one. But I want these films to succeed. I can't imagine it having a massive budget, but I would love to see this film make a good, $200 million, because I need these films to still come out.
Yeah.
I don't want every week to be blockbuster after blockbuster, but please go see it, support it. April 5th here in Australia. Not sure, obviously, anywhere else in the world, but there's not much more I can say. Highly recommend. Definitely on the watch list.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Awesome.
Well, feel free to subscribe, comment below, let us know what you think of the film when you have seen it. If you haven't, if you're looking forward to it, and we'll catch you next time.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.